Welcome back to Urban Regenerative Gardening, where I show you how to garden without buying fertilizers and pesticides, and how to do seed saving, how to start your own plants. And then here I'm in my indoor garden today. I got a few little things I need to do in here. I'm going to put these into individual pots. This is lettuce. And then so what I like to do is I get a try to get a pretty close count how many's in here, and then lay out what I want to do here. I came up with 19. I got 18 here can fit there, so I'll and then also the soil I made this year is way better than I dreamed it could be, because these are the plants I did last weekend. It's probably what I normally get in about 3 weeks, and it did in 1 week. That's how much they grew. You can look back at last week's video and you'll see for yourself. These are the ones I did these Saturday. I mean, they're huge. They were just little individual, like little guys like these. Like here, they were little like that. And I put them in these pots where they have room to stretch out, and they're going. So it's the soil I made this year is incredible. Alright, so I showed you that. My strawberries are making a really nice. This one here, there was nothing there. I got a brand new one coming up here. We got flowers coming on now, so I can show you how to do your own pollinating, since I don't have bees flying around in here. I went down and got like a $1 makeup brush last year, and so what you do is you take one that's flowering and you smear the brush on get some pollen on there. And then you take it to one where it just lost its petals. This one just lost its petals here. And you smear the pollen. Smear the pollen onto the one that doesn't have petals. And here's another one that still has its petals. So I'm scraping up some pollen off of there. I'm putting the pollen onto this one. You can see the dust. I can just see some of the dust. They're the only 3 flowers I have right now, so there's not a whole lot to do. But I'm pretty encouraged. I'm seeing lots of new growth coming up in these guys. And there's a brand new one there that wasn't there last week. So it's looking like over 50% of these. I think what I'm going to do is these ones were runners, and hardly any of them are taking root, unfortunately. So I think I might do is I'll wait a while, and if any of these ones don't come up, I'll just dig up whichever ones do, and then this will be just kind of a free pot. And then I'm pretty sure these are potato plants. They're just popping up out of nowhere. Like, here's a couple really baby ones right there. And they're just coming up all over the place. I might just make this like a potato pot just to see what happens. And take the strawberries out here, and wherever one doesn't come up, I'll transplant them over. That way, that's probably what I'll end up doing there. Another thing I gotta do this weekend is put these in the big pots. I'm not gonna do all of them. I'm gonna do like half of them this weekend, half of them next weekend probably. But I do 6 in a pot. I came up with like just barely 29, I think. And I need 30 for 5 pots, something like that. Then I noticed, hey, there's a couple little guys popping up there. So I will have the 30 that I need. It was 29 plus these 2 little guys. So I'm going to have just barely enough to do 5 pots of celery. And then along the lines of experiments that I tell you I like to do, something I've never tried is I bought a few years ago, I bought a row cover for outside, for my outside garden. These are extra rutabagas. So I'm gonna, out front in my garden where it gets the most sun, I'm gonna try planting these in a row and putting the row cover over them and see if they can like survive the winter under the row cover, since I really don't have anything else to do with these guys because the raised bed is packed full. So that's another experiment I'm going to do here in a couple weeks. Alright, I got them all separated there. I come up with 18, so that's going to work out. Plus that one can just stay there. So. Alright, so just make a little place for the roots. And just pack it in there really good. Don't be shy. Pack it in there good. That way when I go to add in the water, all this soil doesn't come floating back up because it's kind of dry. So that one. Oh. Just like the count on Sesame Street. 2. Oh. Well, anyway, that's one out of 18. And when you do the smaller ones like this, all you need to do is just kind of make a hole for it there. And you can fill the container up all the way to start with. And then just go from there. I got one more little one. I just about got all these done here. And I seen this. I thought this was really cool looking. The root grew like, I don't know if you can see that. The root grew like down the middle of that stem, hollow stem. Thought it was really cool. But anyway, doesn't take much to amuse me, huh? Yeah. So the health tip for this video would be to try to avoid heating things up in a microwave, like heating food up in a microwave with using plastic containers. Buy glass containers and do your best to heat things up in glass containers. Because if you get a buildup of microplastics in your body that interrupts your endocrine system. The endocrine system is basically your hormones, and you don't want your hormones to get messed up. So that's the health tip for today. Alright, so there they are. 18 there. And I counted them right. 19. A lot of times it's more than what my initial count. Put this over here somewhere. There, and then so these guys, I gotta get a shelf ready for these guys, and let's see, water them. I like to fill them up on top, very slowly, very carefully. You gotta start out very careful, or else you're gonna like kind of, you know, disturb the soil. That's why I like to pack them in really good. Might take a little time for it to absorb the water. Just to be clear, this indoor garden is kind of like my happy place in the winter. You know, this costs money, but I just enjoy coming in here and doing this stuff. This is my 3rd year. Also, just this morning when I came in here looking around, I got some bad news. I found aphids. I'm gonna have to show you the aphids. I'll show you what they look like. I gotta get my... Okay, so the first place I spotted them, it's probably gonna be hard to see. See the little flaky, those white flakes on that lower leaf there? That's a sign that you have aphids. And then if I can zoom in on that plant, see them right there? That's aphids. And then I was looking around further, and I see them up here on my... They're on the... When you get them the stuff I brought these in from outside. They must have been just eggs on here. The natural balance of the good and bad bugs outside is not a problem, but inside there's no good bugs to keep them. Trying to get them focused. There you go, see them? That's aphids. And see the flaky, the white flaky stuff? That's usually see that first. So right away I ordered ladybugs. I got ladybugs coming. And I noticed it's gonna be like over a week, or at least a week before I get them. So I ordered a lot. Because by the time I get them, they're gonna be all over. So you guys are gonna get to see what ladybugs in action in about a week or two. So yeah, this indoor garden is kind of like my happy place in the winter. Like right now, it's raining all day long and it's like 50 degrees out. And I'm in here, I'm working on a garden. So, and that makes me happy, so. Whoa. Don't take much to make me happy. And the way I do the water is I have 4 buckets that I use, and I rotate them. Because I heard that if you leave, you know, I got town water, urban regenerative gardening. So there's chlorine, there's chemicals that the town adds to the water. So, and that's not necessarily good for the plants. But I heard that if you let it sit in a bucket for a day or two, those chemicals evaporate out. So what I do is I rotate these buckets. I rotate 4 different buckets. And then I use the oldest one, the one that's longest. And then I have like these 2 containers here that I fill up and use. So this is just about done with these guys. So it takes a lot of water, and you'd be surprised how much. See, some of these are starting to sink in. That one. But I just go ahead and I just really put a lot of water in here. And then just wait like an hour or whatever for it to, because this gets pretty full. I don't want to try to like pick this up with all that water. So something else I do too is this, I have these these little wedges you save from when you're cutting wood or whatever. This side's higher, so I'll just stick this under here. Kinda, yeah, see now I got it kind of more level there. Most of the water was on this side. And so this video is getting kind of long. I want to try to keep them short. So please hit that like button there. I think that will help the algorithm to send it out to more people if you hit the like button. And also subscribe, and if you find this stuff educational, helpful, and I'll get around to showing you how I built all this. I might just do a separate video on how I built the whole thing, how I laid it out. That took a lot of figuring out too, over like the first year or two, how to get everything arranged. I have it arranged where it's just one button. I hit one button, it turns off all of them lights on this side. Boop. And then the same thing over here. One button. Everything's off. But yeah, so thanks for watching all the way through. See you on the next video.